Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TD Fans Talk. We have woke up this morning realizing that the Miami Dolphins did not select Dwayne Haskins as the quarterback of our future in the 2019 first round pick at number 13. Before today, some of you all would have believed, he may not go at 14, he'll go a lot sooner. But that is not where the chips fell. Dwayne Haskins was on the board at 13 for a Miami pick. But we can't start there. Let's start with the simple fact that many other quarterback needy teams actually passed up on him. And many are even arguing the fact that the Giants passed up on him for a quarterback that some feel isn't as good, which I personally disagree. But why did Dwayne Haskins fall the way that he did? The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone who wanted Dwayne Haskins in Miami, let me give you all one quick fact, okay? This quarterback class wasn't great. Just because there were 4 quarterback names at the top doesn't mean that this was a great quarterback class. It means it's all you had. And I want people to please understand that. For some reason, people have this notion that whoever the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks are in every year should be franchise quarterbacks. You couldn't be further from the truth. This year, every NFL analyst, everyone knows, including fans, know that this was a weak quarterback class with a whole bunch of players that we don't know are going to turn out to be great. We are hopeful that they will turn out to be great. Even Kyler Murray, young kid. Is he too small? What about whenever he gets the NFL pressure or takes NFL hits, X, Y, and Z? He's a great talent, but he's still a hopeful to be one of the greats. Daniel Jones, same thing. Dwayne Haskins was nothing more than a hopeful. I'm trying to help many Dolphin fans around the world understand that Dwayne Haskins is a hopeful. TD is not talking about the kid doesn't have skills, the kid doesn't have an arm, the kid doesn't have X, Y, and Z. I am not talking about that. But from a straight up skill, pure talent, and NFL ready being the biggest factor. Let me repeat that. NFL ready being the biggest factor. This draft class for quarterbacks was not glaring. And that's why Dwayne Haskins got passed on by 2 other quarterback needy teams. Passed up, ladies and gentlemen. And he ended up falling to the Redskins, in which you had RG3 who tweeted to the Redskins, make sure you give this kid a chance. Don't give up on him. Why would a former first round pick start talking about don't give up on him? Because all NFL scouts know that if you drafted Dwayne Haskins, he is a semi-project. And when I say semi, that's being positive, because he's great, but it's still a project in developing him into a great NFL quarterback. Is he a great NFL quarterback day one? I don't believe so. So some of you all may disagree with me, and that is totally fine. But to be passed up the way that he did, trust me, there's something there, ladies and gentlemen, that the scouts and the GMs and the coaches saw that told them, I don't want this guy. At least not for a top 15 pick. I don't want him as a top 15. I can go get better value that we know for sure. Why are we going to take a chance and then possibly have a Josh Rosen situation and be right back in the draft next year trying to find a franchise quarterback? You don't waste a 1-year first rounder just to go to the next year with the same position at quarterback for first round. You just don't do it. Now, if you go get a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round, yeah, you can spend your first rounder next year on a quarterback if it doesn't work out. But ladies and gentlemen, Dwayne Haskins was never any more than additional hype by the media because it's all they had. Think about it. If Pat White was the only quarterback coming out of the draft this year, they would say, he's going to one of these top teams. And we know about that. So you have to understand the quarterback pool wasn't great. So why are the Miami Dolphin fans getting upset because we didn't settle? Let me repeat that. Dolphin fans are getting upset for not taking Haskins because we didn't settle. By selecting Haskins, we would have been settling and showing literally desperation. We need a quarterback. He's right there, man. He's one of the top ones. Just grab him. That's desperation. And we wonder why. We wonder why we've been the way we've been for the last 20 years. We wonder why we have been the way that we have been for the last 20 years. It's because we always react off of desperation. Oh, we can never get a cornerback to stop Brady. Here goes Sean Smith. Oh, we need another corner. There goes Vontae Davis. Come on, y'all. Oh, we can never clog the middle. There goes an overpaid Ndamukong Suh. We need to stop acting out of desperation. And I know, once again, it's a cliche, but we have to trust the process. I'm starting even myself to realize the quarterback at this point should be the very last thing that we get. We need to build our team and place the diamond right in the middle of it when the time comes. Not get the diamond and have nothing to hold it and risk losing it easily. Whether it be from injury because no protection for him. Whether it be from just not looking good at all because, hey, no protection for him. At the end of the day, the Miami Dolphins made the most effective move. And everybody who was just desperate for the quarterback, I think it's time for you to start studying football a little more. History. Please stop ignoring history. History tells us everything we need to know. No quarterback in this NFL that makes, another thing about quarterbacks, none of them that makes over $25 million a year is winning a Super Bowl. Because that money is taken away from other positions on the team. We need to build our team. We need to build our team first and then place the quarterback in place. And we're making great strides in building a large chunk of it right now. I'll go out on a limb to even tell you all, this is perfect for Miami. I know a lot of you all don't believe in Josh Rosen, but if we are able to pull the trigger on Josh Rosen for a third-round pick, what if, once again, it's a hopeful, just like Haskins, ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat that. It's a hopeful, just like Haskins. And for all of you who say we know who Rosen is, you couldn't be more wrong. He played for Arizona, who had a bad team around him. You couldn't be any more wrong. But Rosen is a hopeful. But for the life of me, can you all start to admit that Haskins was a hopeful as well? If you took Rosen in the draft last year without knowing what he did with the Cardinals, and you had Haskins in that same draft, every single one of you all, if you follow college football, you would have picked Rosen hands down. Hands down. And it wasn't even, it's not even close. But since he's one of the few that's available this year, we give him more credit, more stock than we should. But put it like this, on the NFL level, Haskins is like a 6.5 out of 10 from an NFL standpoint. Rosen came in at least a 7.8 out of 10 on an NFL level. And even if I played into the whole thing that Rosen sucks, let me play devil's advocate for those who feel that way. Rosen sucks. He came in pre-draft over a 7.5 out of 10 NFL ready. And just because Haskins is available and he's a quarterback and he's been talked about, and to be quite honest with you all, a lot of you all didn't even know who Haskins was or cared about him until people start talking about quarterbacks coming out of the draft. And you know we needed one. First you wanted Kyler Murray, Locke, all of these guys. Many analysts says that Haskins wasn't even the 40 something best player in the NFL in this draft. But he's a quarterback, so a quarterback needy team will take him early. That's what y'all got to start to realize. Most of these quarterbacks weren't even in the top 50 from a player standpoint. Forget position, just player. But since he's a quarterback, and there are a lot of quarterback needy teams, he's gonna go early. But we got a guaranteed day one starter who is going to make an impact on not just our team, but this league. I'm in love with the pick that the Miami Dolphins made for Christian Wilkins. Much better pick than Dwayne Haskins. I was shocked Dwayne Haskins fell to us. You know why? Because I thought one of these idiot teams ahead of us were going to go ahead and take him. Which it wouldn't have been smart, but I thought he would have been gone. And when he fell to us, I got nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, are we going to take Haskins? Because I felt, hey, are we going to repeat the same process of being one of those idiot teams? And this doesn't mean he's not going to turn out to be the Hall of Famer of all time and the greatest of all time. Haskins' future might be the greatest of all time. I'm not saying it won't. So for all of you all who disagree with me and say I'm wrong, make sure in your disagreement and saying that I'm wrong, understands that I am in no way saying that this kid may not turn out to be the best thing ever. I am in no way saying that. But we have to start going with the guarantees. Nothing's guaranteed, but the more likelies. It is more likely that Christian Wilkins will be more successful than Dwayne Haskins in the NFL. That is a fact. It is more likely that he will have a much better impact than Dwayne Haskins in the NFL. And I am tired of us going after all these hopefuls in the first round. We need high probability players. And that's what we got. And that's why I talk about Josh Rosen. There is nothing wrong with spending a third round pick on a hopeful. Because guess what? Just like Haskins, if the hopeful in Haskins works out, imagine if Josh Rosen actually works out and we only had to pay him a third rounder. You know the beauty of that? Imagine Josh Rosen coming in this year and some circumstance has him start and we just all of a sudden realize we have our quarterback of the future. Do you know what that does? It allows us to not waste next year's first round pick on a quarterback. It allows us to go right back into the trenches and solidify our offensive line or a cornerback or another defensive end. But you got to trust the process. The Miami Dolphins didn't go off of the popular pick. They went off of the most logical pick, the smartest pick. And I haven't heard an analyst yet have any problem with the pick. As a matter of fact, they're overly raving about the pick. So everybody who's disappointed in not getting Dwayne Haskins, I charge you with settling. You're a settler. You want to settle just because we need a quarterback and he's a quarterback and he's one of the top 4. Just because they're a top 4 quarterback doesn't mean they're a top 4 talent. In 2020, the top 4 quarterbacks coming out are better than, and many can argue this, are better than every quarterback that came in this draft, including Murray. Disagree all you want. The top 3 or 4 coming out next year are better than every one of them, everybody who's already been drafted this year at the quarterback position. But you all want to settle and just grab a guy and waste a perfectly good first round pick. You know how many first round picks we've wasted? For behavior just like this. Settling. What good is bringing in a first round quarterback if he ain't got a line to protect him? What good is it? Let's build the team. Let's build the trenches first. Dwayne Haskins, I definitely wish him the best. I hope he is successful in this NFL. But ladies and gentlemen, we got this right. We got this right. So all the disappointed fans in Miami about the Miami Dolphins not getting Haskins, you don't know it now. But you might look up in a year or two and say, thank God they didn't do that. And hopefully you remember your stance on it at the time. So it can cause you to start evaluating things a little bit deeper instead of acting out of desperation, acting out of emotion. We need a quarterback. Why didn't we get Haskins? There's going to be a quarterback drafted in the 3rd round that's going to be probably 5 times better than Haskins ever will be. It's possible. Stop settling. Please stop settling. This was not the cream of the crop for quarterbacks. Everyone knew you could not pass up on the defense. Look how many defensive players went in this draft, ladies and gentlemen. Look how many defensive players went in this draft. I told y'all pre-draft, this is a defensive draft. I couldn't imagine Miami passing up on a defensive player. Even when I was shocked at all the crazy picks early on where they weren't taking Haskins, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this happening? Even when I was shocked and everybody said, make a decision, TD, who do we get? Haskins or Juwan Taylor? Who do we get? And I said, I would take Taylor. I even said that, ladies and gentlemen, on the live stream. Go check out the video. I even said that. I said I would take Taylor over Haskins. I said it. And then right before we made the pick, I said, but y'all slow down. I wouldn't be surprised if we still don't go defensive end or defensive tackle. And sure enough, Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle out of Clemson, 3-time national championship winner for Clemson. Played DN in sophomore year. Literally fake field goal unit. Runs the ball as a running back. He does it all. You don't pass up on that, ladies and gentlemen. This is TD Fans Talk, and I am telling all of Miami fans, trust me, we made the right decision. No need for Haskins at all. Get behind it, ladies and gentlemen. This TD Fans Talk. Peace. I'm out.